Following the military coup, Kambili observes subtle shifts in the world beyond her home. The Standard, her father's newspaper, intensifies its critiques of the new regime, while other publications adopt a more restrained tone. Crowds gather in Government Square shouting freedom and obstructing traffic with their protests. Kevin, the family's driver, adorns the car with green branches to express support for the pro-democracy demonstrators as he transports Kambili and Jaja to school. Armed soldiers establish checkpoints, conducting arbitrary searches at gunpoint. Under Nigeria's new military rule, soldiers operate with unchecked authority, a pattern that becomes more evident later. As the publisher of The Standard, Papa openly champions democratic ideals, boldly challenging the authority of the new head of state. In contrast, the Achike household remains untouched by these external changes. Jaja and Kambili adhere rigidly to their meticulously planned routines while Mama's pregnancy advances. During Mass on Pentecost Sunday, a young, earnest visiting priest presides at St. Agnes, diverging from tradition by not extolling the church's ornate altar, unlike previous guest priests. In his sermon, he unexpectedly begins singing an Igbo hymn, initially startling the congregation, though many soon join in. Papa, however, keeps his mouth firmly shut and ensures that his family follows suit, their lips sealed. Despite his active role in political advocacy, Papa rarely shares details of his external endeavours or public life with his family. This young priest stands in stark contrast to Father Benedict, who embodies colonial Catholicism. Papa, shaped by colonial influences, disapproves of the Igbo hymn and enforces his family's conformity to his rigid beliefs, imposing silence more overtly here. After the service, Papa, as is his custom, mingles with congregants who eagerly surround him. The family then proceeds to visit Father Benedict. Papa denounces the visiting priest as irreverent for incorporating a song into the sermon, predicting that such actions will disrupt the church's order. Upon arriving at Father Benedict's residence, Mama expresses feeling unwell and requests to remain in the car. Papa fixes her with a pointed gaze and repeats his request for her to join them. Mama reiterates that she feels off, but after Papa's insistence, she reluctantly agrees to enter. Papa steadfastly upholds his vision of proper Catholic practice, and his children comply, mirroring their acceptance of his dominance in all aspects of their lives. Mama's reasonable plea to stay behind due to illness is perceived by Papa as an act of self-centeredness and sin, revealing his tendency to view any deviation from his wishes as moral failing. While Papa converses with Father Benedict, the rest of the family waits in the living room. Father Benedict inquires about Mama's health, but she attributes her pale appearance to allergies. On the drive home, Papa clenches his jaw tightly as they listen to Ave Maria. At home, Mama offers to serve Papa's tea, but he declines. He shares his customary love sips of tea with Jaja and Kambili relishes the burning sensation on her tongue, interpreting it as a sign of Papa's affection. Papa's lingering resentment over Mama's perceived transgression persists through the visit and journey home. Kambili cherishes the painful love sip, seeing it as evidence of Papa's love, which helps explain why its absence on Palm Sunday marked a significant shift in their family's dynamics. Mama, Jaja and Kambili then retire upstairs to change. The children are scheduled to meditate silently on a Bible verse and pray, even during Sunday family time, which remains quiet. Mama hurries to her room and vomits, a sound the children overhear. At lunch, Papa leads a prayer over the meal, beseeching God to pardon those who sought to defy his will, by avoiding a visit to his servant post-Mass. Mama responds with a resounding Amen. The household is steeped in a pervasive silence, driven by fear of uttering anything that might be deemed sinful, risking Papa's harsh retribution or his disapproval. Papa's fixation on Mama's supposed wrongdoing fuels his ongoing anger. Post-lunch, while Kambili reads her Bible, she hears thudding noises from her parents' bedroom. Desperately, she convinces herself that Papa is merely struggling with a stuck door, hoping her imagination can alter reality. After 20 seconds, Papa emerges, carrying Mama draped over his shoulder. He descends the stairs and takes her outside. Blood stains the floor, which Jaja and Kambili quietly clean. Such violence is a grim routine in the Achike home, viewed by Papa as justified punishment for sin, not as a fault of his own. The children respond with calm detachment, never openly addressing the incident. That night, Mama does not return, leaving Jaja and Kambili to dine alone. They avoid discussing Mama, instead conversing about the public execution of 3 men for drug trafficking the previous day. After dinner, they retreat to their rooms. Papa returns and enters Kambili's room, his eyes red from tears. He assures her that Mama will return tomorrow and embraces her, allowing her to feel his heartbeat. Conditioned to follow their schedules, the children maintain their routine even in Papa's absence. Papa's tears reveal the complex tragedy of his character. He genuinely loves his family but holds distorted beliefs about violence, sin and discipline. Kambili suppresses the memory of the beating, clinging instead to Papa's affection. The following day, Mama returns, her gaze empty. She describes her miscarriage as an unfortunate incident, standing with her arms wrapped around herself before tending to the ceramic figurines on the étagère, polishing them meticulously. Kambili offers to assist, but Mama urges her to return to her room for study time, as per the schedule. Staring at her textbook, Kambili finds the words blurring into an image of Mama's blood. The figurines hold profound significance for Mama, serving as a ritual to restore order after Papa's violence. The family never acknowledges the incident or Papa's role, framing the miscarriage as a mere accident. The subsequent Sunday, Papa insists the family linger after Mass to recite additional prayers for Mama's absolution. Father Benedict anoints them with holy water as they chant, striving to perfect their recitation to avoid Papa's disapproval. Kambili avoids dwelling on what Mama might need forgiveness for. While Father Benedict may be unaware of the domestic abuse, he endorses Papa's strict doctrine of sin and punishment. Despite her devotion to Papa, Kambili senses the disproportionate severity of his penalties compared to the perceived offence.